everyone, welcome back or welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Alyssa Cotten, and today I'm going to do something a little bit different. I'm going to share something personal. I'm going to share my own journey with mental health. Yes, as a mental health provider, I tend to focus on you, the watcher, and how to help you. But I thought today would be interesting if I were to share with you my own journey through anxiety, depression, and how the pendulum has swung both ways and how I got out of that cycle and I was able to heal myself. So stay tuned till the end to learn all about my own journey with my mental health. Let's get started. As you've seen on my channel, I talk a lot about mental health, self-help, motivation, and I talk about how you can grow, how you can dream bigger, how you can go after your goals and go after your dreams. So I thought it would be kind of interesting for you to see a little bit about me, a little bit about my behind the scenes story. If you follow me on Instagram, you may have heard some of this on one of my IG lives I did a few months ago, but it's always different as I share it. So I'm just gonna start. We're gonna rewind back to 2011. So I graduated with my master's in business. I actually have a finance degree, which is funny because I'm a therapist now, so totally different type of industry. So I got super sick my senior year of college, lots of doctor appointments, trying to figure out what was wrong with me. And my professors, they didn't even care. They didn't care at all if I was in class or not. They just wanted me to show up and do the work. They had no sympathy or even empathy for me. And I remember thinking, there's no way that I could be in the business world if no one's gonna care if I'm even healthy or not. So I decided that I was going to switch careers. I was going to get out of the business finance world. I had worked at an accounting firm for all of my college years, and so I decided to make an entire 180 switch. I applied to counseling programs. I decided that I wanted to be a counselor, and I wanted to work with college students, freshmen. I loved that age group. I loved working with freshmen and that new energy from high school to going to college and being so excited to do whatever they want. I left Arizona, so I went to undergrad at Northern Arizona, Flagstaff University, and I made an entirely switch. I moved to Wisconsin, to this very small town called Whitewater. Any Warhawks out there, shout out to you. So I moved, totally different energy, culture shock for me, coming from Alaska to Arizona, then moving to Wisconsin. And during this time that I was moving there, I had just gotten dumped. So I got my heart broken by this guy that we were pretty serious, and my entire world just crashed. I remember thinking, I have no friends, I don't understand the way of living. The Midwest is very different, and it was just different from what I was used to. And everyone that I had friends with had spouses, they were all married and they were all in long-term relationships. And here I was, completely new program. I had gone from business to counseling. I had gone from Arizona to Wisconsin. I had gone from from relationship to being single. So there was a lot of changes, and my depression got so deep. I couldn't get out of bed. I remember I was like, all right, I need to go see a counselor or I'm gonna fail out of school. So I went to see the counselor and she said, you have depression. And I remember my entire world just feeling rocked. How can I have depression? I'm gonna be a therapist, I'm gonna be a counselor, I'm gonna help people. What do you mean I have depression? And I remember thinking, oh, there's no way I'm gonna get out of this. I can barely get out of bed. The idea of getting out of bed is depressing. So I decided to just fake it. And what happened was I decided that I was going to wake up and just do it, kind of as Nike says, just get up and do it. And what was happening is people were starting to compliment me. They were saying, wow, you're so organized, you're so put together, everything you're doing is so well, blah, blah, blah. I'm really seeing you change, I'm seeing you look better. They were giving me all these compliments, but what they had no idea or even realized is that my depression never went to a healthy spot. My depression went straight to anxiety. So I put all this pressure on me to perform, to do well in school, to do well in my job, to do all these things. And people were complimenting me, which ended up fueling my anxiety. So what happened is my anxiety was so high that I was constantly trying to outdo myself. I signed up for every self-help training, every conference, every this. I was going to be the best student, the best worker, the best XYZ, you fill in the blank. And this lasted for about 6 years, where I would say I was a high functioning, high achiever. And if you want to learn more about what high functioning anxiety, high achieving looks like, you can definitely take a look at my free masterclass where I dive super deep into high functioning anxiety and how we as a society actually reward anxiety. So my depression was being shamed and my anxiety was being rewarded, and people were giving me compliments. They were complimenting my looks, my work ethic. They were even complimenting my organization styles. So my depression switched to anxiety. And at this point, I had graduated, I had started working on my business, and I was working 2 jobs because I had so much student debt that I had to work off. And I will never forget this. The day, it was 2018, I paid off my student loans, and I'll never forget that day. I woke up the next day and the pendulum had swung from anxiety to depression. And I remember thinking, what am I gonna tell people? My entire reason for working so hard was, I've got student loans to pay for. I have to keep this lifestyle because that's what I'm just used to getting rewarded. Oh, you work so hard, you're so busy, you're so organized. People were still giving me those compliments. And I knew that if I had scaled back, where was I gonna get those compliments from? Where was I gonna get that kind of reward from, because I hadn't found a way internally to find that. So then depression kicked in and I slept for about a week. I called in sick, didn't go to work, and I remember just sleeping on the couch saying, I can't do this cycle again. I can't do this depression to anxiety. I need to break the cycle. So 2019 was the year that I looked inward. And if you've watched any of my other videos, you might hear the phrase inner compass. That was the year that I totally nurtured my inner compass. I stopped looking outward for validation and I started looking inward at my wounds. What was fueling my anxiety? Why did I need people to give me compliments for being so organized or high achieving or going after my goals? And I did so much internal work. It almost reminded me of kind of a butterfly transformation because I just totally cocooned. I stopped hanging out with friends. I stopped hanging out with family, and not because I was pulling away or isolating, but because I needed that time to look inward and to heal. So you might be thinking, all right, so how do I do this? If this story sounds familiar to you, this pendulum of depression, anxiety, repeat, you might be ready to look inward and nurture your inner compass. So I have created an entire program for people who have experienced anxiety, depression, trauma, who have fears, who have certain things that are holding them back in life. And now I can say I wake up and I don't have anxiety. I'm no longer waking up in this sense of panic that I have to do all these things. I wake up, if you've seen some of my morning routine videos, you know that I wake up without an alarm. That was something that I really wanted to work on, and that's something that I was able to do. So I've been able to break the cycle of the depression and anxiety swing of going from one end to the other by looking inward and nurturing my inner compass. And if you're wondering how to pause and look inward to nurture your inner compass, I really encourage you to book a free call. If any of my story has connected with you or resonated with you, definitely book a free call and see if you are ready to get off that cycle of just experiencing both anxiety and depression. If you're not ready to sign up for a free call, definitely take a look at my free masterclass where I go over high functioning anxiety, high achieving, the pendulum swinging, and how you can break that cycle. So that is my journey of mental health that lasted about a decade, started back in 2011 and made my way till today. And I can honestly say that I have stopped that cycle. I now know my signs and signals if I'm drifting back into anxiety or depression, and I know what tools to help me bounce back and get back in alignment so I can have that inner peace where my inner compass points true north. Let me know in the comments below, did anything from my story resonate with you? Did anything stick out to you? Did anything make you think, wow, that sounds really familiar? Let me know in the comments below. And if you'd like more behind the scenes, definitely follow me here on Instagram, Alyssa_Cotten. I'd love to have you on this journey of this community of mental health, self-help, and motivation. So if you enjoyed this video, hit that like button and don't forget to subscribe. I release videos out every single week. I hope you have a great day.